Stampers, this is Dawn, and today we're going to make this sympathy card. I needed a sympathy card for my really good friend Linda from church. She had lost her daughter Whitney on April 21st, and it was totally unexpected. It wasn't due to the COVID-19. It was just, it was totally something else. But anyway, so her daughter was 30 years old. So I was really struggling to know what kind of card to make my friend for such a huge loss in her life. And I seen a fellow demonstrator, Sue Moore's card, and I fell in love with it. And of course I am kind of changing it up a little bit. This was very similar to the one that I sent my friend Linda, but we're going to change it up and we're going to make this very vanilla one. But I made the one for Linda in very vanilla as well. So this is my first run with this kind of a card. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the very vanilla, and this is the thick cardstock, and I'm going to grab my trimmer. So this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then we're going to score it at 4.25, but we're going to cut 1 inch off of one of the sides here, because this is where we're going to put our little border with the roses. Okay, so I just removed 1 inch on the border, so your card will look like that. Okay, so I am using a lot of dies on this card, and I'm sure that if you go through your die collection, you can find some of these type of like flowers and weeds or whatever they're called. I don't really know, but they're just beautiful. That makes for such a soft, elegant sympathy card, and I think Sue's was a wedding card, which is stunning too. So I'm going to be using these roses here this is from the current Ordinate Borders dies, and this is going to be in the new catalog, but we can pre-order it right now, so it's like a sneak peek. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the roses separate from the card, and I find that when I cut through my Big Shot this way, which is like, I guess it's horizontal going through the machine instead of cutting it like this, it cuts a lot better. So, and I can't turn my card this way, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn the die. And one thing with this die is you want to keep the thicker end, well, at least when you're cutting with this die, you'll notice the thicker end here is the side that's going to actually cut and remove itself from the cardstock. So that's helpful if you do end up cutting like the front of the card like this. This will make sense once I run it through here. So let me show you. And I ran that through twice because this is more of a detailed die. So you can see here on this edge right here, it's totally cut from the cardstock. Can you see that? So this is the thicker side right here, where you can see this thick edge, and it's thinner over here. The thicker edge is the edge that cuts. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And I'm also going to bring in all the layers that I use to cut the different colors of cardstock. So I'm going to start with the soft sea foam. Let me show you what I use for that. Like I said, there's a lot of dies. Okay, so this is the bouquet bunch. This is retiring this year, so I'm going to use this little branch here. I'm going to cut this through twice. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so we got 2 of those cut out. All right, so now we're going to use the purple posy, and I'm going to use the Ordinate Borders again, and I'm going to use this edge, and I'm actually going to cut that through 1 time. So let me show you the pieces that we're going to use from this. So this is a piece here. This piece right here. There's 3 pieces in this little vine here, so I'm going to use all 3 of those, and they punch out separately. So we're going to use those 3. Okay, so now we're going to use a piece of very vanilla again. So we're going to bring back in the pieces with the rose, and I'm going to cut, let me find it here. We're going to cut one of these. Now I want to be careful because we're going to do some embossing as well. So this is from that bouquet bunch again. And then also we're going to use the peacock the detailed peacock dies, and I'm going to use the one with the branch right here. We're going to use the Flourish Thinlits. I'm going to use these right here. So I'm going to cut out a couple of those. So let's go ahead and run this through with the Very Vanilla. Okay, so I think that's all the die cutting except for the greeting once we emboss that. But I've already done that ahead of time. So I just wanted to show you exactly what I used to make today's card. Okay, so let me show you the dies that I used again. So this is the Flourish Thinlits. This one is retiring for this little image right here. And then I also used the peacock, the detailed peacock dies. And I used this image right here. That's also retiring. And then I also used the bouquet bunch, which is also retiring for this. And then also, where did that other one go? Right here. Right here. Okay, so those two images from the bouquet bunch, and this is also retiring. This is the one with the Whisper White that I used the frosted frames with that one. So pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and move the Big Shot. All right, so now we're going to do some embossing. So I'm going to take this piece of Very Vanilla, and we're going to take our Versamark ink pad. And this is the stamp set I'm using for my sympathy card, and it's the Kindness and Compassion. And I'm using our Sincere Condolences for that greeting right there. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this on the Very Vanilla. I'm going to take my embossing buddy, which is also retiring. Get my gold embossing powder. And we're going to go ahead and stamp the greeting. Just like that. And then we're going to put the powder over top of that. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to heat set that. Let me get my heat tool. Okay, so then to cut this out, I used the long rectangle from the Ordinate Layers, which is also available now and will be in the new catalog. And I cut that out with the Big Shot. So I cut that out, and I previously did that to save some time. So there's that. Now let's get our paper trimmer again for cutting these roses. Let me get my brush here, bunch all these little pieces out. Okay, so on your card, you won't have all these die cuts. I was just trying to condense everything so I could show you exactly what I did. So I'm going to cut this with just an edge because this part's going to go onto the front of my Very Vanilla piece. So once again, I've already got one done, but I wanted to show you exactly what I did. So you're just going to cut an edge, say about a 1/2 inch or so that's above this edge right here where we cut through. Remember that? So we're going to grab our scissors. And right where these cut lines are, there's 2 cut lines right here and right here. I'm going to cut up to that line. Just like that. Okay, so then this should remove that bottom section there. So now you can see those roses there. Of course, this piece should not have that, but it does for the sake of this video because I wanted to show you all the pieces that I cut. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our base of our card. Okay, so I have one that's already done, so we're going to use that one for this card. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our liquid glue, and I'm going to line a strip of the liquid glue along that 1-inch cut line. So this is the front of the card. So behind the card or inside the front panel, we're going to run a strip of glue, the liquid glue. And I found that using the liquid glue is a little bit more forgiving, especially when you're putting on this little piece here on the front. Making sure the right side is facing out, and I'm going to line up the bottom edge of the roses with that bottom edge of that 1-inch cut line. And I do not want to cut the leaves off on this edge here, so I'm trying to get those leaves right here and right here inside that section of the card. just pressing that glue into that layer. Okay, and then we're going to take our scissors again, and this time we're just going to cut to make the same edge as the card, just like that. And there's the bottom edge of my card. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see that? All right, and then it's just a matter of putting our layers of all the die-cutted pieces together to make that beautiful arrangement for that embellishment. So let me go ahead and grab all those pieces. Okay, so I'm going to grab some snail first, and I'm going to put it on the back of that greeting that we embossed with the gold embossing powder, and I'm going to build my flourish. So I'm going to first grab those soft sea foam pieces, and I'm going to put them behind each of the corners, just like that. And anything that's sticking out at the bottom, we're going to cut off. Okay, so we got our soft sea foam on. Then we're going to take our purple posy layers. We're going to tuck those in behind that soft sea foam. Just like that. Then we're going to take our scissors again. We're going to cut this bottom edge off. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. Then we're going to take our other layer here. Where's that one right here? This is the one I want over to the side here. Just like that. And then this one, I'm going to bring this over here to this other side. Just making two little clusters on each of the sides, and then we're going to also clip this bottom so there's nothing showing at the bottom, and then I'm going to add some more adhesive along the bottom edge, because now we're going to add these two little branches here that look like little berries, but we're just going to add them to the bottom. Add this one over here. Just like that. Once again, if anything's overhanging, just trim it off. Okay, so that's my little embellishment for the front of my card, which is going to go right here. So to secure all the layers on the back, I'm going to add a bunch of dimensionals. So let me go ahead and do that. So beautiful. And this is going to go right under the front. Keeping in mind you don't want that to stick above the card, so it fits into an envelope nicely. Okay, so there's that. And then to finish it off, for the one that I made Linda, I actually added some of the woven thread sequins, and I used the lighter shades like the white and the aqua color, like the light blue. And that just reminded me of Whitney, so that's why I added the sequins. She was a glitter girl too. So, but for my finished card today, we're going to add some basic pearls. So I'm just going to add the basic pearls just randomly around the background of my card. So beautiful. Let me take my bone folder. With the thick cardstock, you really want to enforce those score lines so it lays nice. So I'm just going to go over that a couple times with my bone folder. So you can see now it just lays really nice and flat. All right, so let me show you the other ones really quick. Okay, so here's the other one. That's just like the one we made today. I did actually put this up a little bit higher, but I think it's because I had the soft sea foam branches a little bit lower. So this is the Whisper White version that I used the frosted frames with, the soft sea foam, instead of the bouquet bunch dies instead. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll have all the items listed down below. And then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye.